Hey everyone, man, you're in for a treat today. We're going to show you why Mo Norman was the absolute master at this on how to hit the ball off a high tee. He used to hit it off Coke bottles, glass ones, and not even break a bead of glass off that sucker.
It's pretty impressive.
It's very impressive. And 91% fairways hit, lifetime average. You don't want to miss this show. For this experiment, you could take a tennis ball and tie it to a string, or just what I did here is I taped a lace to a wiffle ball, give it a little bit of weight too, used electrical tape, and you're just going to send it into orbit. And you're going to allow the ball to swing around your hand. Now notice my hand is moving up and down. That's for another show. You don't want to shy away from that, because if I stop the hand going up and down, you'll notice the power leaves. There's nothing left. So when we talk about ground forces in the swing, as far as some power sources, I can just transfer this to my legs, and you notice how my legs are tuning in to the weight of the ball, and I'm able to keep the ball going. So it's a fun exercise for you to do, and you'll see that, you know, I'm planting the seed on giving you some power for our next lesson. Meanwhile, you'll notice that the arc blur of this ball has a low point. So if I look at where that low point is, you'll see that in relation to the first tee, I'm catching it ever so slightly on the way up. And if I have an angle of attack that's either level or just slightly up, a couple of degrees up, I'll be able to turn my, I have an 8.5 degree driver, an 8-degree driver. I'll turn that into a 10-degree launch angle. And 10 degrees is okay for a launch angle. It'll take a little bit of the spin off as well, but I'm not going to be able to maximize my carry with that. So what I'm going to do is, when you put it on another tee and you put it higher, you need to be cognizant of this low point. So you notice the low point right now is such that I'll be catching both golf balls on the way up. Does that look pretty good on the camera there, Sav?
Yeah.
Right? So if we take that and we put that into your golf swing, I bring both arms together to take my grip. Now, if I only had one arm and I was going to adjust the length of this thing, and I just let the club swing around my arm, notice the center of that machine would be my shoulder, and the low point would be here. And then from there, I would start placing my tees depending upon how high I've got it. So when I bring both arms together to take my grip, the center of the machine is between my clavicles, and I'm going to give that a run. So notice my club is bottoming out here, and from there, it starts going back up again. So with the one on the lower tee, this one here feels adequate. It feels like I'm going to just clip the tip of the tee slightly on the way up. So this is what it would look like. Now, if I face the ball, this is what gets you into trouble. You face the ball, now I'm going to be hitting the ball on the way down. And many of you like to hit on a low tee because you have a tendency to pop fly the ball. Well, if I face the ball is in the center of my swing. I will be going up from the ball, down under the ball, and up past the ball over on this side. Now imagine if I have that sucker on this tee and I face the ball. Well, I'll go clean under the ball. I won't even touch it. The ball's just going to drop to the ground. So I need to place myself in a way that's going to catch the ball on the way up. So notice from right about there. So I would have to position myself right about here. Everything goes up. Everything comes back down. My eyes are on the tee, and then everything comes back up again. There we go. Now we're going to have super high launch. This is why you'll see the guys on the long drive, they're going to tee it up way high, and the gals, of course. They're going to tee it way high and catch it on the way up. and that's going to give them super high launch and super low spin. So it's like in tennis, when you brush up on the ball, you give it top spin. Well, you can't exactly give it top spin because there's loft on the club. The loft negates the top spin, but you will greatly reduce the amount of backspin. So what we're looking for is 18 to 20 degrees of launch with less than 2,000 RPM backspin. That's going to give us a long carry, and it's going to give us some good roll in the process as well. So we're going to have Sav demonstrate a couple of drives down the middle here, about 250 to 260 carry, and then I'll show you how I maximize my distance with the driver at about 110 miles an hour. I can still get it out there about 295, 300 in the air. All right? Not bad for a 57-year-old. Nice. Nice. There you go, Sav. Beautiful drive.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You got the speed pocket. Look at that. There it is, 300 yards. So, if we look at the numbers on that puppy, which is beautiful, you had a beautiful path from the inside. You're hitting draw. And with that height of tee for you, you're able to get 7 degrees up on that. And look at the backspin, 1,900 RPM. So this would be your gamer driver, right? So, when you're on the golf course, you're on cruise control, 102 miles an hour club speed, your carry's at 263, and you often hit it at 300 yards. So we caught a little speed pocket there. And now if we look at, starts off a little bit left, draws back a little bit to the right. He only had about 41 side spin to the right. That was a gorgeous drive.
Thank you.
So if I take that though, you can see down this side, I'm going to aim it where your ball ended up right there, and that's 296 carry. So I'm going to take our little tornado tee here. I want to catch this sucker on the way up. So notice where I'm setting up. I'm going to hit a power fade over the corner of the trees there. So I'm catching it on the way up and in the direction of my intermediate point. So my intermediate point is right there. I'm going to aim a little left of that. So I'm looking for this pocket right here. That's where I'm going to send it. And that should take me to that point right there, which is about 300 yards carry. So if I face the ball, notice how crooked my shoulders are going. I'm going dead left. But now it feels like I'm going to catch the tip of the tee on the way up. My eyes are on that little section of the tee right there, on that purple section. And it feels like I'm going to be nicking that and causing the tee to tumble and do somersaults to the left of that intermediate point. I'm going to use momentum to do that. Maybe I got it lined up a little too far left. That was pretty good.
You cut the corner.
Hello. Man.
310 carry.
So look at the launch on that. So that was 17 degrees launch angle, 160 ball speed. But look at the backspin on that. It was only 1,100 spin. I mean, these new Callaway drivers lower the spin like crazy. That was 310 carry out there. That was nuts. Like I'm right next to the green. Yeah. So I really chopped off a lot. Tee it up, let it fly. Tee it high and let it fly. This is working out better than I thought. This is fun, Sav. I'm sure you're going to want to hit one like that too, huh?
Duh.
On the tornado tee. Here we go. Momentum sending the tee. A little thin, but that's basically what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Thin to win. Come on. Okay. So there's a good miss, and the other one was a bonus. So we got one more very important little key for you. Because the tee is so high and we're putting the ball forward in the stance, you need to have support under your lead leg before we continue with this really important point. If you're enjoying what you see so far, please take the time to subscribe, click that bell to make sure you don't, miss any future videos. Give us a like, and of course, if you have a question or a comment, we'd love to hear about it. Please put it down below. To have success in this. So if I were to do a square stance and play the ball that far forward, it's going to be really hard for me to continue my swing along that line. So I'm going to go with a diagonal stance. This was a very well-kept secret by Mo Norman and Ben Hogan. So that diagonal stance allows me to, so watch how I modify this. I'm going to bring my left foot a little forward. That brings my center of gravity forward. Then I drop my right foot back and brings my center of gravity back. So I need to do it with both. If I do it with the right foot only, now I'm way too far from the ball. See what happened there? So I just do that. Then if I want to go to the left, I just bring it around. So many of you don't know how to bring it around. So if I come around over here to you, there's me catching it on the way up, still catching it on the way up. If I change my alignment, but I don't change my ball position, see how I'm going to have that ball way too far back in my stance now? So I feel like I got it on the way up, still on the way up and to the left, still on the way up and to the left with my little diagonal stance. And now we're just going to send the tip of the tee tumbling to the left of that intermediate point with momentum. And there it is. Come on, please carry that. Oh, that's good enough. Come on, just a little more. How about that, huh? So we got 300 carry, caught the rough, so I only got 310 out of that one. Nice launch angle of 15 degrees. Look at my backspin, 1500 RPM. So high launch, low spin, good carry, and as you can see, quite accurate because my setup really matched what I wanted to do with my direction and my height. Okay? So enjoy that, and we'll see you next time.